Hey guys, Brent Boyer from Adam again. So let's talk divorce. So we got a question recently about custody and custody issues, and the question is, can my son come and live with me? Is it possible, son or daughter, of course. So let's say you're going through a divorce and you're still living together, and there's a dispute over who's going to have custody of your child. Is the child going to live with mom or live with dad once the divorce is final and you're living in separate places? So that is definitely the time to address this issue. One thought right off the bat is you do not want to get talked into, well, let's do this for now, let's try it one way. Mom can have custody for now, and we'll see how it goes, and we can revisit it in a year or look at it later. You're not going to want to do that. Custody really ends up not being modifiable later. The law says it's modifiable, but the chances of it changing later, unless it's by agreement, are very small. It's difficult to do. It's not something you want to be looking at. So ruling that out, you look at, okay, what's the situation? So if you're still living together, that's the best time to address custody issues. You're still involved in the child's life. You're there for the mornings, the afternoons, evenings, weekends, whatever it might be. You're spending time with the child. So the answer becomes, can my son come and live with me? He definitely can. You just need to be able to do it the right way and be able to prove what's required under Michigan law. So Michigan law looks at best interest of the child factors. They look at these 12 factors, and they're looking at things like mental health of both the mom and the dad, physical health of mom and dad, the ability of each of them to support the child. And then one factor is also the reasonable preference of the child. But that doesn't mean it's as simple as, well, my son says he wants to live with me, so that should be it. That's not happening unless, of course, he's 18. So Michigan law gets into a weird place where there's really not an age specifically at which a child gets to decide what parent to live with. That age in Michigan is 18. Obviously, at that point, it's not an issue because they're an adult. So if they're under 18, you got a minor child, and you're trying to figure out a custody issue, the preference of the child is one factor, but it's not going to be the driving force. So the reasons that your son might want to live with you, that might be important, but just the fact alone that he wants to live with you really won't be a deciding factor. You would want to be looking at the stability of the home that you can provide, what that's going to look like. Are you living in the same school district? Once you're divorced, will you be living near each other? Is a shared custody arrangement possible? The idea of coming in with an all or nothing approach on custody is usually a bad idea and often can backfire. So there should be some assumption if you're going through a divorce. Shared custody is probably the goal. The full custody, to me, my son's living with me no matter what, is not a good approach and can just alienate the other person. And likewise for them, if their approach is, he's living with me and no matter what, and you can see him when I say, that's not going to work either. So there will be compromise with this issue, like everything else in divorce cases. So deciding a custody issue, it's good to get advice early on. The things that you do can affect the outcome of your custody situation, divorce case or custody case. So you want to get some advice early on. That's the best thing to be doing here. Get advice from an experienced attorney, get a sense of what your strengths and weaknesses are as far as your custody case and how that's going to look. If you have any questions, give me a call at 248-356-2326 or send me an email at brentb@bmpclaw.net.